Thanks, everyone. I'm Becky Key. And I am an AI optimist. In a world of futurists, pragmatists, traditionalists, and cynics, what does it even mean to be an AI optimist? It doesn't mean that I ignore challenges. It doesn't mean that I adopt the latest fad or compromise data. It means that I choose to view AI with a positive lens. I choose to view potential more than problems. I believe that we have a bright new world in front of us with transformational power if we choose it. I've been traveling, speaking, working with students, and engaged with education around the world in the field of generative AI for the past several years, and I started to notice some trends that really bothered me. So I decided to do something about it. I created a framework. This framework envisions a possibility of what we can do in the world of AI and how we use it in classrooms. It starts with 3 core principles at its center: praxis, privacy, prompting. Praxis reminds us of our pedagogy, our best practice, what we know is great about teaching and learning, and how we use it. Privacy reminds us to guard student data, vigilance, and prompting gives us the possibilities of the power of generative AI without falling back on prescriptive chatbots. Surrounding these core principles are 6 categories. These 6 categories help us understand when and how to use AI appropriately. Our jobs, when we look at this framework, are to determine how much we want AI to transform what we're already doing. So the first step in using this framework is to take a look at what you're trying to achieve. Each one of these categories represents a task and a decision point, something you're going to try to do. And the next step is to make that determination of what's possible. Are you looking for an easy button tool? Are you looking for something that just will slam out an instant generation? Or are you ready for more? Are you ready to do something that truly redefines what's possible in your classroom? The SAMR model's been mentioned this afternoon, and it's a great fit for implementing my framework. Most of us started off using generative AI at the substitution level, but many of us are ready to perform. Let me explain. If I'm walking my students through a Washington State history lesson where I'm from, I might use a generative AI tool to create a worksheet, and I can personalize that worksheet and I can add some state standards. I can also augment my lesson and maybe add some custom imagery. Or I can modify my lesson and create a simulation that students can use interactively. I can redefine my lesson and ask students to engage with a chatbot from one of our historical logging towns. If I use my praxis, I know that I want students to engage in hands-on, minds-on learning. And if I use my core principle of privacy, I know that I will only be using tools that are safe for education. And if I know just a little bit about prompting, I know that I can do 21st century learning experiences with my students with the same level of energy it took to generate that worksheet. It is ultimately my hope as an AI optimist that educators around the world begin to embrace the power of the possible, that we will no longer be limited by all of the work we have ahead of us, and instead embrace preparing students for their futures. In my book, AI Optimism, I outline the 6 categories and take you through all the different ways you can be doing this in education. But the good news is, you don't have to buy my book to be an AI optimist. Here at ISTE Live, you can think critically about the tools and services that are being pushed at you downstairs. You can use those core principles and those 6 categories to make determinations about what's possible for you and your students. You can listen to the visionaries, the futurists, and you can think about what works for you and your students with your limitations and challenges. You can look past the glitter, sparkles, and swag and determine what has the most educational impact. And finally, you can help move the needle in your school. You can push toward incremental innovation that leads to systemic benefit. These are the things that are going to change the future for all of our students. Ultimately, it's my hope that you will join me on a path toward looking at the possibilities in AI with positivity, because that's what being an AI optimist is all about. Won't you join me?